What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ryan Meyer's Expedition. We got to a really cool zone today, and you can only dive this area when the weather is nice. We got our window and we shot out here. It's a little rainy, so I'm filming this in the car real quick, but we're gonna suit up. We're gonna go for a big, long hike, and hopefully, if we time this all right, we'll drift, will take us back to the truck. So we'll see. We're looking for those moos, those UKUs. Could be ULUAs up here, could be Onos, could be absolutely anything. We'll see. We'll see you in the water.
Kind of going down the river. Yeah.
So to find this area diveable is super rare. And I kind of saw this little weather window a week ahead, and I was like, guys, this could be the day. This could be all time. This is the place where the giant UKUs live. Let's go and let's give it a shot. And when we got down, we finally got in the water, it was definitely stormy, and I was worried about that rain coming in a little bit. But I told these guys a couple things. I said, number one, do not shoot too many fish. Whatever you shoot, we're stuck with for a really long drift. And number two, if you shoot something and the current's ripping, you better pull it out on that dive, because I'm not going back down there and ripping current to get it out. So this day was all about being selective, all about looking for certain fish, and all about being careful once you did find those fish. So we started off kind of in the dirtier water, and then as we drifted, we found bluer water. Thank God, because I was not looking forward to spending all day kind of in that murky runoff from the river type zone. So got over here and I saw our first UKU target. And you can see here, I'm tucked down in, I'm doing those grunts, I'm scratching just a little bit. My head is whirling around just a little bit more than it should, probably because this was a smaller UKU and I wasn't determined. Like, I didn't need this fish. If it happened, cool, I like to eat UKU. If it didn't, no worries, oh well. But you can see him, he'll come in right here, that gun starts to come up, he's just a little bit high there. And the shot here, you'll notice, was just a little bit farther than I like to usually take, and just a little bit smaller of a fish. And it did not work out, I just whiffed right over this thing, but really cool to see these guys and start the UKU hunt. Another dive here, and what's really cool is how the structure kind of changes throughout the day. You know, this is a big drift zone. So you'll go over kind of sandy spots, you'll go over bouldery spots. It's just really cool. And I always prefer this type of diving. I'll always prefer a long walk and a long drift rather than a big swim or sitting in one spot all day long. You can kind of play your diving different ways. Like, sometimes you only have one access point and you've got to swim out from that access point, you got to swim in from that access point. This area, luckily, you can have a really big long drift and cover a lot of ground. And if you're not in the right zone, swim a little bit, get to that next better zone. Make, a little bit of swim with the current to kind of keep changing it up and always be hunting a different set of fish. So here I'm in the sand again, I'm throwing out those grunts. I can see a small UKU that had kind of been hunting us, like each of us saw it on every single one of our dives, and it just wasn't happening. I don't know what the deal was. He wasn't big. Again, he was in that probably 3-4 pound class, something that I would like to eat. I'd like to take him home to eat, sashimi, whatever, but wasn't gonna cry if I didn't go home with him. So a couple more grunts there last second, and just waiting to kind of get this guy to come in, and for whatever reason, it wasn't happening. Like, we all did 3-4 dives on the same fish while we drifted. It was almost like it followed behind us. I don't know what it was following from the surface, but following behind us, and we just couldn't make it happen. But sometimes that's how it goes, and they just get away, and it's no worries, we'll leave them for another day. So this dive here is the fish of fish. I mean, this is what we were looking for. This is what we come to this area for, is those big 10, 15, 20 pound UKUs. And I know they're here. I've seen them here before. I've shot them here before. And this was the dream fish for Wes. This is all he wanted since we first met him. And I was like, man, after that last session we had, you're ready, bro. Like, you can come up here, you can comfortably hunt in that 80 foot, you can comfortably do that dusting and grunting and lie still enough and take those shots to maybe land a fish like this. But having said that, I wasn't about to give him one. If we go out there and one swims up to him, that's awesome. If it swims up to me, I'm taking it. Like, I've only shot 1 or 2 fish like this in Hawaii ever in my life, so this is a trophy to me. And there he is right there, coming in from the side, and I'm kind of on the wrong side of this boulder to get a shot right there. Like, my gun is over to the right, so I've got to swing that gun up kind of through the current, and I'm kind of looking for a handhold with that left hand. I'm doing my grunts right here, I'm scratching just real lightly. I want this thing to come back so freaking badly. You'll see that I pull out all the stops. I get kind of desperate. I do everything I could possibly do to get this fish to turn around. A few more grunts there. I'll strum the bands. I'll even do the squid fingers, which is something that I never do. But for whatever reason, he was gonna take off and just chill him. Like, I didn't spook him, but he wasn't that interested enough to come in on this dive. So as soon as I get to the surface here, I will tell them to kind of throw a spoon, and that's what happened, and it worked.
Anybody got a spoon? Yeah. Drop it. Big uku.
So I'm guilty of not always having a spoon on me, although a lot of the guys do, and I probably should. It's just not something I'm in a habit of carrying, but if someone's got one for this technique right here, when you've seen an uku and you're not ready to go right down right away, or maybe he's just out there in the area, drop that spoon, and a lot of times he'll come right in and he'll smash it, and then he'll stick right there in the area. You can either follow that spoon down like 30, 40 feet away from it, or kind of what I like to do is wait till it's like 30 feet off the bottom, and then I'll do my dive, and I'll kind of hope to get within shooting range right when that spoon touches the bottom. Theoretically, any uku down there is gonna stick his face right in the sand, right on that spoon, right when it hits, and then you'll be right there on top, ready to dive bomb. Or you can go all the way to the bottom and then do your dusting, do your grunting while he's curious, and then get that shot. And that's exactly what happened here. Wes was there, he made it happen. Unfortunately, he didn't have his GoPro on, but he was down there, made a perfect shot, and then really put the heat on this fish, which I told him beforehand. I was like, bro, put the heat on this fish. Do not let it take any reel line, because if it wraps up and we've got current, it is not fun to get out. I'm ready to go back down, get my second shot. Again, we want to horse this fish in. We do not want to take any chances with sharks or the fish tearing off or getting down in the reef. And it was so unbelievably special to have Wes land such an incredible fish. For here in Hawaii, for Kona, but for anywhere in the world, we were so pumped to take this thing back and make sashimi, have a big sushi party right before he left, and this would be his final dive before he left to go back home.
Dude, that is the one!
Nice backup.
Yes!
Yeah.
Bro, this is the toad.
Dude, I was keeping tension on it.
You got it. Bro, it's a monster!
So later in that same session, I bumped into this monster ULUA, and luckily I got him, and we'll have to wait till another episode, guys, where we're gonna smoke him up and do a full catch, clean, and cook on this monster. All right, guys, we made it out to the sailboat. Look at your uku.
Dude, there it is.
Check it out.
We're making it tataki style.
Tataki style, so tell me what you did.
This is just paprika, salt, pepper.
Okay.
To just kind of spice it up on the crust a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Sushi Kai Tyler, check this out.
What you got?
We got uku nigiris.
Oh.
Check that out. With coming soon.
What?
Negi butter, dude.
What? I don't even know what negi butter is.
It's basically just a fancy word for green onion.
Okay.
Melted in butter and pour them over.
Sweet.
It's gonna be super good.
And are we Chick-fil-A-ing too?
We're Chick-fil-A, dude.
We're Chick-fil-A.
Look at this, the other surprise.
Oh,
Chick-fil-A
check that out.
uku.
And look at there's a little secret extra in there.
Yeah, that came with the pickles. Got uku 17 ways.
We're out here on the boat making Chick-fil-A again. Girls drinking gin, cocos. Right out here off of Kailua Pier. Check this out, guys. Sunset sushi party.
That looks so good.
That looks insane.
Tyler, that looks amazing.
Negi butter.
What?
Fresh uku, negi butter style.
And what's that sauce you got?
This is tataki sauce. So this is basically cilantro, green onion, shoyu, a little bit of sesame, and like toasted garlic.
And this is the Kimmy recipe?
This is the Kimmy recipe. Full credit to Kimmy Warner. Super grinds. And she made hers with uku.
Nice.
But
I bet it wasn't as big as your uku.
I was gonna say mine might have been bigger.
Sweet, that looks delicious. Camera eats first? Wow. This is happening, Sam. You're gonna get the negi butter recipe, huh?
Usually I would think I'd melt a bunch of butter in a pan and throw the green onions or the negi in there.
Yeah.
But Tyler's like sushi kai guy.
Right.
And when
Sushi
you
kai!
when you make like a garlic butter or an herb butter or any like compound butter is what the fancy word he used. You do it first, so you let the butter just get soft. You mash it all together first, and then throw the whole shebang. Then you melt it as like a unit. Send it, Chuck.
I'm in.
Down the hatch.
Okay, you're done.
Oh my god.
You serious?
Yeah.
Must be nice to sushi cat.
Oh, no.
That's really good.
Yeah?
I've never had anything like that. Unbelievable. Oh my god. So good. It's so
Going
good.
in, going in. Now it's a free for all.
It's not too spicy.
Wow.
Perfect.
It all like melts together. It works.
Squeeze some line on it because it will kind of cook
Okay.
it a little bit.
Wow.
That's unreal.
I've never had anything like that before. I feel like I've had a lot of sushi, never had anything like that. With the butter. The butter makes it gives it like this like toro-y flavor, you know? Like almost like you'd eat like a straight like slab of ahi that's like really fatty. You know, you get like that same kind of thing.
It was a little too bland. It is.
Oh my god. I'm so unbelievably impressed. Like that was incredible.
That is so good. The seared.
Oh my god. Guys, we're gonna recreate this like tomorrow, I promise. And we'll give you guys the full recipe because absolutely incredible. What do you think, Sam again?
This is the good life.
Are you ready for a sailboat?
Yes.
I asked you a question the other day, Sam. I said, if I found like 300 grand on the beach tomorrow.
Ooh, which beach? What beach were you
Definitely a weird beach. Definitely like South Point down there. I was like diving green sands and like it just washed up. So if I found
a brick of cash.
a brick of cash, if I found 300 grand on the beach tomorrow while I was diving, sailboat or apartment?
Oh, well now I think it's sailboat. Guys, like this video.
Someday, maybe I don't find 300 grand on the beach, but we buy a beautiful little boat like this for ourselves and we take it around the world. Why aren't you in French Polynesia?
Our sail ripped in half.
That one?
That one, our main sail. We were 300 miles out, basically 3 days, and we had to turn around and come back. However, because we came back, we saved a puppy. We met up with you guys. We speared a really nice UKU. We did more diving. I went to 100 feet. All kinds of good stuff's happened because we came back.
Absolutely. Okay guys, so prediction right now, you guys heard this here first. Wes goes to French Polynesia. Wes brings his tiny little guns.
Oh God. 90 centimeter
Wes
roller.
loses all of his gear within the first week. Wes calls Ryan.
That's what
He's
he
like,
said.
Ryan, I need a resupply because the doggies took all of my stuff. I fly in,
Keep saying this.
then I bring the real guns and we shoot some giant doggies and make some epic videos in French Polynesia.
Sounds good. So we'll see if that happens. I'm gonna shoot small doggies, hopefully, so they don't wreck all my stuff.
What's a small doggy?
Like 20 pounds or less.
Okay. 20
pounds is gonna wreck my
30
world.
pounder will wreck your life.
Yeah.
Wes's world is about to be rocked by the dog.
I'm excited.
We're gonna watch the sunset. We're gonna make some more Chick-fil-A uku because that's apparently all we eat.
Yes.
And we will see Wes again in French Polynesia someday.
Sounds
Wes, kick-ass diving.
It's been fun, man.
Incredible fish. It's been amazing hanging on the boat. Sam's gonna miss the girls.
Yeah.
We're gonna miss Jim.
Aloha.
Tyler, we're not gonna miss at all because we're gonna see him a lot. He
Sushi
lives
Kai,
here.
here to stay.
And thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on Ryan Meyer's Expeditions.